So this story seems like it's fake, but it's not fake. It's as real as a heart attack. And this is what happens when you have a bunch of idiots in positions of power. So Common Dreams is reporting, dangerous precedent. U.S. High Court sides with corporate giants Nestlé and Cargill in child slavery case. Excuse me? A lawyer for 6 men who alleged they were victims of human trafficking said the corporations, quote, should be held accountable for abetting a system of child slavery. Okay, this is insane. So I want to give you some of the facts here. I'm going to read through some of this. Human rights advocates Thursday denounced a Supreme Court decision in favor of the U.S. corporate giants Nestlé USA and Cargill, however you say it, which were sued more than a decade ago by 6 men who say the two companies were complicit in child trafficking and profited when the men were enslaved on cocoa farms as children. The Supreme Court ruled 8-1 against the plaintiffs, saying they had not proven the company's activities in the U.S. were sufficiently tied to the alleged child trafficking. Hang on every word I said there, because every word is important in that sentence. So they said they had not proven the activities of the company in the U.S. were sufficiently tied to alleged child trafficking. The companies had argued that they could not be sued in the U.S. for activities that took place in West Africa. Neil Katyal, the former acting Solicitor General under the Obama administration, represented the two companies and also argued, so an Obama official represented the companies in this case, defending from the child slavery claims, and also argued that they could not be sued for complicity in child trafficking because they are corporations and not individuals. So if a corporation does slavery, what are you going to do? You can't go after them. There's a legal loophole. They can't be held accountable. It's only if an individual does slavery can you go after them. Oh my God. Writing at Slate last December, Mark Joseph Stern called Katyal's position radical and extreme, detailing the 9 justices' skepticism about his defense of the companies. But the court ultimately sided with him. The plaintiffs, who are from Mali and say they are survivors of child trafficking and slavery in Côte d'Ivoire, filed their lawsuit under the Alien Tort Statute, an 18th century law which allows federal courts to hear civil actions filed by foreigners regarding offenses committed in violation of the law of nations or a treaty of the United States. In recent years, the court has limited when the law can be invoked, arguing it cannot be used to file a lawsuit when the offense was committed almost entirely abroad. Okay, this is insane. So they go on to say lawyers for the plaintiffs argue that Nestlé and Cargill have total control over the production of cocoa in the region where child slavery is widespread and where the men said they were forced to work long hours and to sleep in locked shacks at night. This is crazy. The U.S. Department of Labor reported that the use of child labor on family farms in cocoa-growing areas in West Africa increased from 31% to 45% between 2008 and 2019. There's now more slavery than was going on a decade ago, or a little over a decade ago. Okay. This is ridiculous. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit ruled in October 2018 that Nestlé and Cargill couldn't avoid the lawsuits, but writing for the Supreme Court majority on Thursday, Justice Clarence Thomas said the plaintiffs had failed to establish that the company's conduct occurred in the United States, even if other conduct occurred abroad. What? And the companies made major operational decisions in the United States. This is... I honestly don't know how the fuck this could happen in 2021. In fact, it was literally the exact same day that Biden declared Juneteenth a federal holiday. The same day that he did that, the Supreme Court made this ruling. So the same day that we're given the symbolism of freedom, because Juneteenth is Emancipation Day. So the same day that we're celebrating emancipation and Biden makes it a federal holiday, to his credit, that's a good thing he did that, right? But the Supreme Court is saying, we're going to side with child slavery. And they're literally doing it on a technicality. They're saying, well, you didn't prove that they made the decision in the United States, and we only govern the United States. So it basically what they're saying is it doesn't matter how egregious the crime is. If the crime is happening overseas and it's done by a corporation, we're powerless. There's nothing we could do because of legal technicalities and stuff and things. The Supreme Court of the United States sided with child slavery, and that is not an exaggeration. That is literally what they did. And they're using technicalities. They're using legal loopholes. They're saying, our hands are tied. What are we going to do? So let me get this straight. The logic of this ruling, very simply, is that corporations are not individuals, so you can't hold them accountable. And since it happened overseas, there's nothing we could do. By the way, they only say corporations aren't individuals when it's convenient for them to make that argument. When they want them to be individuals and have more rights, they pretend like they're individuals. So it's very selective on that front. And the idea of it happening overseas, if the fucking company is headquartered in the United States and it makes the decisions in the United States, which that is the case with this company, of course you can regulate them. Of course you can say, you're not allowed to do that. Of course you can invoke U.S. law. You can invoke international law. It's fucking child slavery. They're passing the buck here to Congress, and Congress would need to, write what? An anti-child slavery law? Okay, corporations. Yes, we don't have child slavery in the United States, but if you're headquartered here, you also can't use child labor from West Africa. This is insane. So they're basically saying corporations are above the law. As long as there are some little technicalities we can hold on to, you can have a corporation. So if they're saying it's okay to do child slavery, would they also say it's okay for a corporation that's headquartered in the United States to have paramilitary wings that commit genocide in other countries? If they're consistent with their logic, they'd say, yeah, we have no standing. We can't do it because it's a corporation, it's not an individual, and it's happening overseas. So if Coca-Cola decides to arm themselves to the teeth and start gunning down babies and women and children in some, desolate area of fill in the blank, Peru, so be it. Nothing we can do. Tee-hee-hee. This shit is fucking crazy. It's in violation of U.S. law. It's in violation of international law, but they're saying we can't enforce U.S. law or international law because it's not happening in the United States, even though it's headquartered in the United States and they make the decisions in the United States. And they literally said, you haven't proven that they made the decision in the United States. Well, they're a company that's in the United States and headquartered in the United States. Where the fuck do you think they made the decision? Burundi? Like, what are you talking about? This is unbelievable, man. The Supreme Court upheld child slavery. Now, on the same day that they did the whole Juneteenth thing, Emancipation Day, this is corporatocracy shit here. Billionaires, corporations, moneyed interests get away with whatever they want to get away with, and they use an amalgamation of technicalities and loopholes and try to make you think you're crazy for opposing child slavery. That's where we are. And also, by the way, listen, I get it. Sometimes supply chains have to come from overseas because we don't make certain things in the United States of America, but I do think that when it comes to trade, trading as a matter of necessity is the way we should trade, and we should try our best to keep as many jobs as we can here and create as many things as we can here. Because under the guise of like free trade, we've outsourced so many good, decent paying American jobs, and we've set up these horrific supply lines that, diffuse responsibility. So now they say, we didn't make the decision. Hey, do we want there to be child slavery? No, but maybe somebody who we work with works with somebody else who works with somebody else, and that person is doing the child slavery. Am I really responsible for that? This is one of the arguments they could use. I'm at a lack of words for this, man. I know I just talked for however long, but I'm at a lack of words for this because it's so egregious you almost can't imagine it's real. This is like a Plessy versus Ferguson type decision. And by the way, where the fuck is the media? Where's the media? Credit to Common Dreams for talking about this. Where's the media? Where's the media? If you polled the American people and gave the facts of this case, 95% would be like, of course you side with the people and not the corporations here. What are you, crazy? By the way, there was another case that was that helped Goldman Sachs that came out recently. Crystal Ball covered that on her show, Breaking Points. So when nobody's looking and nobody's paying attention, the media doesn't say anything about the Goldman Sachs case. The media doesn't say anything about this case. And so people are under the misimpression that, your government is not full of psychopathic idiots who are totally bought and owned by corporations. I got news for you. The government and the judiciary, federal government and the judiciary are filled with these sorts of people. This legal technicality bullshit stretch of an argument to protect corporate power has led us to this place. And I'm sure a lot of you guys thought we would never sink even this low. We just did.